So that part right there, I wish it was a little bit punchier, and I think that's what the high-end Gibson Les Pauls are. I've never owned one before, so if we're lucky one day, I'll get to see. Okay, so months ago, I said that statement when I did my first video ever, when I had that Gibson Studio, the Silverburst one. Now I have one. I have a Les Paul Standard. See, it says Standard right up there. This is a 2016 Les Paul Standard T in a Desert Burst finish, which is gorgeous. It's really, really nice. Now, I really want to dispel with the notion that I'm clickbaiting here because the story is absolutely true. I saw this on OfferUp, like a trading app, for $500. $500. The problem was the headstock was completely off the body. Completely just ripped off. So I was sold this much of a guitar and then this much of a guitar. Two different pieces of a guitar. So I figured it's a great, it's a great price. I have to do it. And the moral of the story here is that you can't get these amazing deals if you don't look. If you're not constantly searching, if you're not constantly trying to outcompete others that want the same thing, if you're not doing that, if you're not being proactive, then you're going to fall behind in the used gear marketplace. So I did it. I was the first one. I messaged the guy and I met with him as soon as I can. I raced out of my house, got in my car, went and met with him, gave him the $500 cash. And there are so many people that I'm sure wanted this, but they were just too late. I was the fastest one, and now I have this Standard. So, I took it into a shop. They were going to charge $700 and then $900 after they had it in the shop for a while to replace it, to do a full replacement. And I figured that would still be worth it because a professionally done replacement, I pay $900, I paid $400 for it all together, or $500 for it all together. That would come out to $1,400. I could sell this for more than $1,400 if it was professionally restored, and I would still make a profit, or I could just keep it for myself. But they told me that it wasn't going to be ready until late July, and that just really put me off. I didn't want to wait for this all summer. I wanted to have it now. So I took it home and I put it together myself. I clamped it together. I watched some YouTube videos, and I'm not going to tell you all about the process because so many other people have just done way better videos on repairing a headstock breakage. But I put it together. It's kind of grotesque. It's really not pretty. I sanded it down. It's kind of ugly in some areas, and you can still see the cracks. There are cracks. It was also cracked in the front right here. And I did a really, really ugly job of covering it up. I think going forward, I'm going to sand it down even further. I really want to take it to Dean Zielinski, the founder of Dean Guitars. He lives in my area. I've met with him before. I bought a guitar from him. And I want to ask him how I should go about it. But I have it now, and it works fine. That being said, this is the best rhythm pickup I've ever played on. The best sounding, out of all my guitars, the best sounding guitar is this guitar on the rhythm pickup. And let's see if you can tell. So full. It's just resonant. It's so loud. It's a lot louder than anything else I have. I have it on all 10s right now, and it's just it's a beautiful sounding guitar. I'm not doing it enough justice. On the middle pickup, or on the middle position, I'm not a huge fan of the treble pickup, but I'm not a fan of any of my treble pickups, so more, it's probably just a me thing. Beast of a guitar. It sounds really, really nice, especially with the distortion, but I like it better for like bluesy, calm stuff. It's really beautiful. The rest of the guitar is really nice, apart from the neck breakage. It's just wonderful quality. And when I saw it in person, you know, the question that you have to ask is it real, or am I getting ripped off? And when I saw it, I could just tell it was a Gibson. There's something about the quality of both, of the whole thing, but it was specifically the headstock that really told me that it was a unique, that it was a genuine, authentic Gibson Les Paul. It was just really nice. I don't know how else to describe it, but you can feel that authenticity when you look at it. As for the features, I wrapped it around Jimmy Page style, the tailpiece, but specifically because Joe Bonamassa said to do it. He said that it would help with like string bends and a really beefy. And I really like it. You got coil splits with these knobs. You have a true bypass with this knob, and you have a reverse phase effect with this knob when you push it up. So as for the single coil sound, yeah, it's nice and all. It's nice enough. I don't love it. I really don't play with it. I play the humbuckers. I play this full humbucking style. The true bypass, it's really powerful. And the reverse phasing is really cool. I kind of prefer the reverse phase on the Black Beauty, to be honest. I don't know, I just don't love, I don't use any of those features a lot. I did find that if you roll down the rhythm tone, it turns into a bypass as well. Like, so if I have it on 1, yeah, that's a kind of neat feature. So all in all, yeah, it's a Les Paul Standard. What else is there to say? It's substantial. It's solid as a rock. It sounds really, really good. The sustain goes on for days, and it just sounds really, really nice. Do I think it's worth $2,500? If you have the money to spend, yeah. If you could find one used a lot cheaper, then you should do that, even if there are some cosmetic issues. The whole process of fixing this up myself has given me a lot more confidence in my abilities. But it also, having this allows me to compare it to other guitars, other Les Pauls, and just non-Les Pauls as well. And I will say that, like, I have guitars that I think sound better that are cheaper. I think my PRS SE Pulse guitar, I think that one sounds really, really good compared to this one, specifically on the rhythm. I think actually my Epiphone SG, it's an SG Pro, it's like a G400 Deluxe or something like that. This thing sounds really, really good, and it's really lightweight, which I think contributes to it. I think it sounds just as good, and it's lighter. It's less stuff to deal with. I think Les Paul Standard is good if you're a professional, if you can afford it. But if you can't afford it, if you can't afford to put out $2,500, I think my recommendation is to get a really good Epiphone. And if you don't like the sound, then just replace the pickups and give it a good setup, and you can get it to sound just as good as a Les Paul Standard, in my opinion. Like, I A/B a lot of these different guitars. If I ever get a new guitar, I go, okay, how does it pair up to the best guitar that I have? And most of them sound pretty on par. Yeah, I don't know what to tell you. For clean sounds, it really does matter. But for distortion, I think that the difference in sound is so negligible. If you have any amount of distortion, it really doesn't matter what kind of guitar that you have. It matters how good your hands are in getting that sound out. So that's my Les Paul Standard. I'll use this as a comparison for my other guitars. With that being said, my back is getting worse and worse every day, and it's really hard for me to stand with something that weighs this much. So I'm thinking of letting this one go. If you want to buy my Les Paul Standard for a reasonable price, even though I told you what I got it for, I would be more than happy to part ways with it. I think it adds something that, you know, I'm the one that worked on this, and that that gives it more character, in my opinion. It has such a place in my heart. But from a functional standpoint, I could use the money to buy more lightweight guitars. So if you're interested in buying any of my guitars, really, on any of the videos that you watch, if you see a guitar that you really like that I reviewed, you can buy it from me. I'm not wedded like that to... There are a couple guitars that are like very dear to my heart that I wouldn't let go, but make a reasonable offer and we'll talk. So yeah, Les Paul Standard. Cool guitar. You don't need it though. You don't need a Standard to have a really good sounding guitar. You just need good pickups or a really good amp. So thanks guys. Have a good day.